Good morning, good evening, good afternoon from wherever you are in the world. Thank you for tuning in. Today is our Venice Spotlight, and this week we have another local entrepreneur, artist, all around perfect networker. So she's going to introduce herself, her business, what she does, and how she can help you. And if you know some people, refer over because she does some really cool stuff. So Janessa, thanks for coming into the Venice studio today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it very much. My name is Janessa Tamset. I am a local artist and I own a company called Academy of Art. Here in Florida, it's called Academy of Classical Arts. And we provide instructional art programming for ages 3 through adult. We use classical teaching techniques. And I also create custom artwork and do commission pieces. I am working on a dog and a child and a car right now. So I enjoy doing that for people of different sizes and different types of art media. And working with ages 3 through adult, I work within the communities. I do private events and parties at your place. So I'm a traveling artist and come to you and teach you what you want to know and learn about art. And my favorite things to do right now are watercolor, acrylics, and charcoal. And I teach all of that.
Okay, I want to stop. We said classical. Can you go explain that a little more? What is that?
I'm more into traditional terms and going back to the beginning of the era of the art world with Michelangelo per se and Raphael, and then some of these Dutch painters and the different time eras that art really came out in understanding perspective and different styles of art, and there are many styles. So classical teaching to me is also a way of engaging people with verbal cues, visual cues, hands-on teaching techniques as well. So you're getting a bit of learning everything using all of our senses, and then learning, I'd say, traditional, classical, old term artists.
Okay. So I know you're pretty much everywhere in America. Now you're back in Florida. Now specifically, met you at the Inglewood Chamber. So I know you absolutely positively have space at Inglewood when you need it. Do you also have another retail store that you work in, or maybe some of the partner studios? Can we talk about these studios you can do classes in?
Yes, and I do want to mention something about the Inglewood Chamber, that I'm going to be hosting a art show with all of my students. My goal is to get 100 pieces from the last 2 years and put that all up there. And I work at the Artistic Flip Flop, which is located in Venice. And I also teach classes at Creative Framing. They call it Creative Classes. That's here in Venice as well. And then I'm moving south a little bit and working in starting the rec center. It's the Ann and Chuck Dever Rec Center off of San Casa in Inglewood. I am working at the Open Studio, which is located in Inglewood. And we'll go back up to Venice because I do teach at the Venice Art Center, and I do work with the Venice Community Center as well. And that's mainly where all my art camps are held with kids.
Okay, that sounds fun. So I know you said kids through adults. So are the kids and the adults getting in the same class? Is it mixed, or do you have it aged out?
That's a very good question. Sometimes I do have it mixed. So we have Grandparents' Day or a Family Day where mom, dad, uncle, grandparent can bring a child 5 and older, and they can do a canvas painting. And we usually harp on the sea life theme. And then usually my classes are divided into age brackets. So I have preschool programs, ages 3 to 5. And then my kids program is ages 5 to 12. And then I have other groups that are 8 to 13. And then I have teens and then adults. So everybody can get to know each other and mingle and make friends.
Yeah, it sounds like a big gamut. So for the kid, are you doing specific art for kids? Like, are we bringing the macaroni and the glue and the fingerprints, finger painting, or are you giving? At what point does a child get a brush and something to look at to try to copy or emulate?
I start that at age 3.5. So at age 3.5, you will. How I instruct my classes, the child would receive a photo to look at. I have trademarked something called starting points with my artwork. So proportion and scale is a little bit easier as you follow the leader to draw. So I have the students follow me, and I have them going right into drawing and painting. One thing about me, I do not do crafts. I am not crafty.
No crafts.
No crafts. So I have to go to those classes for myself.
What is considered a craft versus art?
Well, we do collage, but fine arts and visual arts to me is more the drawing and the painting and using different media such as watercolors, acrylics, charcoal, pencil, pastels, oil, and chalk, and putting those all together to create a composition using the elements of art and the principles of art. And so you have something that's not macaroni and seashell orientated. I have tried it.
Oh, but we are in a beach community. So any beach themed parties, or each beach theme classes?
Yes, we do a lot of beach themed classes. Upcoming is flamingo. I heard someone sell flamingos here in Florida. I have not seen one, but we'll call it a Floridian theme. And then sea turtles, and we painted seahorses the other day. Upcoming is a nautilus class, so we teach how to paint the nautilus shell. And then we're going to jump into a different realm, and we're doing a tree frog in watercolor at the end of the month.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yes.
So, how many people do you typically keep in a class? So, just say I know you have public classes, and you also do private. Let's go on the public first. How many people would I expect to sit with?
It depends on the venue. Venues have different space arrangements. The largest class I've ever taught was over 100 people. The average classes around here are, I would say, 7 to 20 people.
Okay, with that many people, I know. Let's stay on the 100. How many facilitators do you have, or is it just you on the stage with the big screen, or are you walking around helping people out?
I do both.
Okay.
Because I like to, even though I have a larger class, I will individually work with each participant. When I teach at the artistic flip-flop, there's room for, I say at the max 10 people, but I give everybody individual attention. So we follow the leader, and I teach you techniques and skills even before we start the process of doing your final artwork. So we get to play with the art media, see what it can do, what it's supposed to do, so you can control your paints and feel successful in what you do, because I believe art is a process and a product.
Oh, it sounds fun. Can you compare this to, just say somebody's in their head, most people think art and sip nights where they're going to paint and sip, we're going to have a glass of wine, and they're going to watch, not quite paint by numbers, but you get a blank canvas and try to go. Do you do anything similar to that?
Yes.
With or without the adult beverage?
Yes. So I do provide some classes. My upcoming class is actually a sip and paint with watercolors, when we will be making the flamingo. And I walk them step by step, because in art to me, and should be to everybody else, it's a learned skill. If I want to learn to play the piano, I need to practice. If I want to learn to paint, you need to practice. And to get these different experiences from good teachers, such as myself, then you can enjoy it without getting frustrated, because there's a lot of frustration, or people are fearful of art because the most common term I hear is, I can't draw. I only draw stick figures. I can't even draw a circle. So I say that it's a learned skill. So I'm here to give you instruction and give you an atmosphere for creative development and to try something. And everybody, I should back up. One thing I love about art is we're all in the room drawing a zebra, for example. And because we are all made individually and uniquely, even though we're drawing the same subject matter, not one zebra looks the same. So you have a lot of authenticity, if that's a word, and it's neat to see what comes about when we're all doing the same thing. And one new thing I've gotten into is abstract art.
Okay. What is abstract art for people that don't know that?
I'm not sure.
Is that in my head? It's just like, it's an apple. Is that abstract art technically?
Abstract.
Or that's just when somebody just by accident spills some paint on a canvas and now it's $4 million. Is that also abstract?
Yes, that can be abstract. Yes, you are correct. It is a representational art, so it can mean something. So I think abstract art for me is anything that is not realistic or truly representational, because I am a realistic artist. So I want to draw every little detail of my sea turtle and get every effect of it. When I draw an abstract, you're getting a sense or an idea that could be, And there's non-objectionable abstract as
Okay.
well, where you can't tell what it is and it's up to everybody's interpretation unless you read the memo by the artist of what it
Okay,
is.
so yeah, it's an interpretative art. So
Yes.
that's more fun. Now it's co-creation of looking at something instead of
Yes.
here's what I drew. I painted this, and that's what you have to enjoy. But now it's I get to also be part of the process and pretend what I see.
Well, one thing I've
That's fun.
very much enjoyed is community projects. And I was a community artist in Colorado, where I'm from. And I enjoyed putting mural projects together. We did trash can art, where you
Okay.
see art on trash cans and get people together in the community. And that's somewhere where I would have kids and adults working together on projects such as that.
Oh, that sounds fun. Like legalized graffiti on maybe
Yes.
the actually they're doing it here. We're in Venice. You'll see this on the internet at some point next few months. There's a fence after the hurricane got put up, and now they're putting the circus scenes because this is the circus
Oh, yes.
area back from the early 1900s.
Yes.
And the Barnum and Bailey's came here first. They had the school, the Ringling Brothers School of Art, but they're recreating all the circus theme by the airport, which was originally set up where the train was supposed to be back in the day.
Yeah, it's very
So
cool.
that'll
I've
be
seen
fun.
that.
Maybe you can get something like that kind of project.
Yes.
So if you know of an empty blank wall, give us a call.
Inside or outside, it doesn't matter.
Like to do a big community project, that would be fun.
Yes, it's a great family project. I've had, like, should I say, people getting together for family functions and they want to do something for their reunion. And we can put it on a traveling canvas so it can be taken down and put up where you want. I mean, it's endless on what you can do. And everything in the world is functional art. Everything's designed for a reason and with beauty. Whether it's a cup, whether it's a piece of paper, whether it's your phone, everything is designed. So I think art is very important, and it creates the connection between the left brain and the right brain. And I know a lot of colleges are now making art mandatory because people should be getting art 3 hours a week at least.
Really. What else would you consider art if I needed to get a 3 hour fix of art in? What can I consider art? Is that me creating or me just enjoying?
I think enjoying art as an art advocate, go to your local museums, go see your local galleries, see what's out there. And sometimes I get kind of lost in what do I do next? So to be inspired, I think it's good to go see those things. But I feel that you really need 3 hours of creating something. I don't care if it's woodworking or you're building an engine in a car or you're drawing or splattering paint on something like Pollock, but just try and do something. Somehow the synapses in our brain just connects and it will make you smart. Art makes you smart.
Okay, well, I've also heard the therapeutic version of it, that art is calming. It'll help an ADD style brain. Not medical advice, just if you're confused, it's good to just create something and then you get other creative flow to help you in life. And if you have order in your mind, you'll have order in your life. So you have to sit, think, and create. So I know that's actually documented. Any of the schools doing that right now, like forcing people to do art as part of a mandatory.
Well, the sad thing is a lot of art is being removed and taken back, and they're putting too much academics into things. I'm not saying anything against academics, but it's just sad to kind of see the loss of it. So I teach after school art enrichment programs at certain schools. So I travel to the schools so people can sign up. Space is usually a problem, and people just don't see an importance of it because art develops so many things. So I'm going to read you my little list because I think you'll see something that you can identify with. And this is what I see in children and adults because art develops self-esteem, emotional intelligence, problem-solving skills, kinesthetic and cognitive skills, perceptual development, self-correction and control, prediction, cause and effect, observation, fine motor skills, social skills, and personal awareness. I think as a round human being, we need to have some of those attributes.
That sounds like a big thing.
It is
So
a
if
big thing.
So I want to go to an art class. Can you give me the range of prices and what's included? And then when you're that, how do we get to your next one?
That sounds great. All my classes currently in this area are on my website. I am working on putting stuff up on YouTube, and I do have a free art lesson on my website to do some more videos of that. And my classes range from, I'd say in a group setting, They're approximately 2 hours in a group setting, and it always depends on what media we're doing. So watercolors about 2 hours. Sometimes acrylics can be 3 hours, and we're looking at $35 to $50 for the session.
Okay.
So it's pretty reasonable. And some do include wine, so that's always a perk if you like that adult beverage.
So if I can't draw, does that help me draw? Or does it make me worse?
Sometimes it does, and sometimes it will. So you got both sides of the cause and effect there.
And what do we go? Are we going home with an actual canvas or some kind of sketchbook? What are we going home with?
You're going home with a finished painting, and you may go home with extra pieces of artwork that you use to explore on, which would be your non-objectionable abstract art, because you're exploring how the media of the art that we're using, mainly in watercolors, I would say, but you are going home with a finished piece.
Nice. You have something to be proud of. Then now you can actually use maybe a little bit of the art to enjoy what you just did. So that counts as towards your 3 hours of art.
Yes, and
So
then
that's a great deal.
I provide mats on some of my classes, so it looks semi-framed. And I always offer to my students, if they really enjoy their art class and they want to go home, because I encourage that, and paint at home, you can always reach me at any time, send me a picture of what you're doing, and I'm happy to tell you how to do a critique with you on it and how you need to add or, build up your painting or drawing and whatever you're working on.
Have you incorporated an online version of these classes so you can have maybe a video camera out, see what they're doing, give critique? Can you do that now?
Yes, I can do that now. So I'm
Have you
working on
started?
doing that. I did that because we all went through that crazy
Coronavirus. Yeah, everybody's
yes,
doing everything online, everything.
in 2020. So I do have a lot of art classes that are online, and I took them down so I can edit them to make them a little bit shorter. But it was Drawing with Miss J. And I do have one on YouTube. So please look forward to seeing a YouTube channel soon.
Awesome.
But I do a lot of stuff via Zoom. So we could do that if you are not locally here and want to work with me in that regards.
That sounds great. So leave us with one piece of genius and then give us your contact info.
One piece of genius. Oh my
I mean,
goodness.
you gave us the good one of the 3 hours of art. So what would you tell somebody that maybe is considering getting into the business or at least wants to explore art? So let's give me that one good tip that someone could leave and feel good about today.
Well, there's so many things, but I think my biggest take home would be you can create, you can draw, you can paint. Don't tell yourself no, you tell yourself yes. And adults, I meet more 3-year-olds that have more self-esteem and confidence in who they are and what they're doing than adults, because we get jaded as we get older. Don't let that happen to you. Say, I can do it, and go do it. Go try it. Try it 3 times at least, and whatever you want to do. But you can do it.
Okay. Appreciate that. So give us your contact info and then we'll end it here.
Thank you. My name is Janessa. I'm with Academy of Art. My phone number is 720-309-9396. And you may visit my website. Please go check it out. And I love feedback as well. And my website is academyofclassicalarts.com. Thank you so much for having me today.
All right. Thank you. And hopefully you see you at the next class.
Sounds good. Thank you.